Hello, welcome back to another episode of Hungry for More. I'm Robin Mons. This is my dear friend Jennifer Winder, and we are going to talk today about the multi-layered benefits of mindful eating. Now, obviously, let's start on the physical level here. When you are eating, we're not used to usually having to consult with the body on the fullness level. I had never consulted unless I went way over, then it's like screaming at me to stop, right? But usually when we're either eating according to a calorie count or we're eating according to kind of like a portion we've learned to eat from that we've eyeballed, or just like whatever gets put on the plate, that's what I'm going to eat. And so mindful eating really does require you to pause and check in and consult. I like that word, consult with the body. How are you doing? How's this feeling? And we're listening, just like we talk about a lot. And so mindful eating is a principle of being a conscious eater. And we encourage our clients to minimize distractions as much as possible when they're doing this, especially because, like I said, they're not used to listening. They're not used to being in that listening and responding relationship. And so you're not going to every meal have the opportunity to be all by yourself and have it quiet. But you know what? Many of us, especially the 40 plus ages, we at least have one meal that we're usually on our own.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody
Mm-hmm.
goes off to work and school, or we're at work and we're at our desk or something. And so take the opportunity, and we're going to tell you why this is a benefit, but take the opportunity to, especially when you're by yourself, to put your phone down, I always have to flip my laptop down because I would always want to make the most of it, multitask, and I can watch this training video while I'm eating. Really take away the distractions and be with you. Now that can be really uncomfortable.
Well,
Yeah,
I
hop
was
in.
going to say before you move on, one way I like to think about it is think about like when texting first came out. Let's say
Mhm.
smartphones, because remember when texting first came out, it was one letter at a time. So
Yeah.
when smartphones first came out and we'd be texting, my kids would be saying something and I'd be like, wait, what did you say?
Mhm.
So where
Mhm.
you're saying consult with the body, I'm saying like you're having a conversation with your body. So when you
Mhm.
have distractions around, you may still hear the conversation, but are you necessarily listening to it? You
Right.
know,
Yeah.
sometimes it's really easy to see how if you're involved in whatever, that you can just not be paying attention at all. And all of a sudden you're like, whoa, I did not stop eating when I was full.
Yes, exactly. And so this is a great way when, especially that one meal a day, when you tend to be by yourself. Now, this is not required. Some of you do not have a
Yeah,
meal a
you do
day.
the best you can.
A requirement, but yeah, you do the best you can. Maybe you can turn some of the other outer noises off, and obviously the kids being around or other people being around, you're going to work with that. But if that is available to you, it's a really beautiful practice. And as I mentioned, it goes down the layers. First, on a physical level. Let's discuss that. On a physical level, as a conscious eater, again, the body has the authority. We're just listening to the body, who is going to tell us when we've had enough to
Mm-hmm.
eat. And that is what we're going to respond to. And of course, if you're not hearing that cue, you're going to miss it. So anything else you want to say on a physical level? Obviously, the physical benefit is you're not going to overeat.
Right. No, I think that that's the main thing, right? You don't usually undereat when you're distracted. It's usually overeating is the issue that comes into play.
Yeah, exactly. Now, on another level, it is for our emotional and spiritual well-being. And the reason for this is, think about, we've talked about in this relationship with the body, when you feel heard, when people respond to the needs you're expressing and they meet those needs, you develop a deep relationship with that person. And that's no
Mm-hmm.
different than ourselves with our bodies. We're not our body. We
Mm-hmm.
are You're not the body. And so we're in relationship with the body. And so it gives that sort of attachment, healthy attachment with oneself. And I'll give you an example of this. We adopted our youngest son, Jake, and when the counselor, who was specifically, her whole job was to get our attachment to be transitioned from his grandparents to me, especially from grandma to me. And the whole focus was for him to get a healthy attachment with me. And the training I received was to make sure that every single like self-care, every single survival type of need he has, I have to be the one to meet his need. And I thought that was interesting. It wasn't, here's the most stimulating toys and you need to be on the ground playing with him. And of course, those are good things to do, but that's not what was going to get him to trust me and truly attach as you are my mother now.
Mhm.
And it was being present, not just being the person to do the things, but she said, you have to be completely present. When he's taking a bath, you are there. You are giving him the bath. You're not on your phone on the toilet while he's taking a bath. You are there. You are present. You're looking into his eyes. You're interacting with each other in that way. When you're changing his diaper, you're talking with him. You're looking at each other. A lot of gazing, actually, like when you're eating, you're just looking into his eyes. And it's the same with ourselves. How many of us really feel at home and safe with ourselves?
Wow.
You know, that was a deep question, but we've had some of this kickback where people are like, I don't like being with myself. What do I do? What do I do? I have to have something on. I have to have a
It can be
distraction.
very uncomfortable, right? When you're first there and you're quiet. Like, even when I go out to eat, I try to put my phone in my purse. That's a little bit uncomfortable for me.
Isn't it? So yes, I know. And so so people say, what do you mean? I have to just be left with my thoughts. It's like, yeah, why don't you listen? Not only listen to your body, but sometimes that's a time for you to just really let things out, let yourself be heard, what's going on, and hold that space for you. So on a deeper level, beside just the physical obvious benefit of it, there is something that happens when you learn how to be with yourself and you can hold space, and that your thoughts, you're not afraid of them, and this takes a little bit of time. This takes a little bit of practice before you will feel comfortable. It will feel a little bit awkward.
Mhm.
That for me, it was totally uncomfortable for sure.
Mhm.
But now I really relish that time. It's it's a time that I look forward to. I love stillness more and more and more in my life. And I started really cultivating the practice of stillness through the conscious eating with at least that one meal a day. So now let's talk about what do you do, Jennifer, when it's not that meal, when you're on your own? How can you stay in tune with your body when you're at the family dinner or you're out with your girlfriends? Like, how do you work through that as a conscious eater?
Well, what I have to do is I literally I have to be extra conscious about it, if you will,
Mhm.
because I have to really check in. I mean, we get going in conversations and we're gossiping, we're having fun. If I'm with my family, we're teasing each other probably, whatever that looks like, the conversation's flowing. And people are just eating, right? They're just eating. Nobody seems like they're really paying attention much at all. But I literally have to kind of just pause. This took me such a long time because even when I became a conscious eater, I would still notice, like at our big Sunday family dinners, I would walk away too full.
Yeah.
And so I had to really start engaging, and you have to be conscious about being conscious. That's the thing. And it takes practice. It takes overeating a few times. It takes doing these things to catch yourself and to realize that I was out to eat last Friday night with my girlfriends, and I kind of have to pause for a minute, put my fork down, and just sit there and enjoy the conversation, and then be like, am I done or am I not done? Okay, I'm not done. I'm going to start eating some more, and then do that a little bit later, and just give yourself a minute, because I could walk out of there and I felt really good and I felt satisfied versus really full
Yes.
and
Yeah.
uncomfortable.
So it's really as you go into the situation, as you know, as you're walking into the restaurant or you're driving over there, it's really making the intention of, hey, I'm going to be eating. I'm going to make sure I check in with myself. That still doesn't take away from the conversation. I'm not going to miss out on anything. It's
Nobody
not this,
even notices.
nobody notices. It's not extra steps you have to go through because I'm on this diet or something. It's just truly like, I kind of like it as you're driving to the restaurant. And again, you're in relationship with your body and you're like, hey, we're going to go have an amazing time with friends. I'm excited about this restaurant. I've been on Greek food lately. We're going to go eat at this Greek restaurant. And I promise that I'm still going to listen. I'm going to check in and see how you're doing.
Yeah.
It to me is truly about just that consideration.
I'm not going to let you down because you're in a relationship and you both want to leave happy.
Right? I mean,
No.
truly, how many times do we leave the situations and you're like, oh, that was wonderful. The food was good. And your body's like, oh, can we get home and unzip these pants as soon as possible?
Yeah.
You know, you kind of overdid this.
Your body's like, hello, you promised.
Yeah. So that is really the key is when you can remember, you know, and you just do this by practicing it, but knowing I'm going somewhere, I'm going to just check in, I'm going to pause. Today, I was at a luncheon and somebody was presenting and I was eating while they were presenting. And I went in with that intention and it didn't take away from anything. I still participated. I was fully present, but I would kind of pause. And you know, what's interesting today, it's a salad that I eat whenever I go to these meetings and it's a salmon salad. And many times I eat the whole thing, like I eat the whole salmon, especially. And this time, I don't know why I even was like to my body, but you usually you eat the whole thing and you're not too full. This time there's like 3, 4 bites left. And I was like, I'm done. And so put my fork down. Oh, wait, you're muted.
Yes, I am. That's why I think it's so important to really pay attention because so often your meal is delivered and you think, I got to eat it till it's gone.
Yeah.
Right? It's
right. And that's the
I would
mindset.
say most restaurants I have stuff left over these days.
Yeah, the portions definitely can be,
Mhm.
and sometimes my fullness matches.
Sometimes I don't.
what I've eaten, and many times it doesn't. And so that is exactly it. If we go in with just the mindset of like, this is my plate and this is what I'm going to eat, and I'm just going to chat while I'm talking or chat while I'm eating, then we are going to miss the cue. And the whole thing about it was the mindset about that, it never has you checking in. So that's the mindset shift. We're shifting away from, you know, whatever served to me, I just eat, or until until it's all gone, I'm going to keep going. It's really going in with, hey, here's what's getting served. I'm going to listen. You let me know when you've had enough. We'll box up the rest and we'll have more to eat next time.
Yeah.
Again, physical level, this is huge. This really, people lose a lot of their weight just from this one principle of learning how to be mindful and really honing in on that hormone, the leptin hormone that's telling them, thank you, we've had enough. And this is where a lot of people start to see progress. So it's worth listening to the physical level, on an emotional level, on a connectedness level for yourself.
Yeah. And if you're one of those people who maybe you have multiple distractions, maybe you're used to the TV on, your phone in your hands, who knows, kids running around, start eliminating the things you can eliminate. Put the phone away, put the TV away, don't put the kids away. But you start learning, I mean, you may find that you enjoy your time with them and where everybody's kind of doing their own thing, you can sit there and have a conversation, or if it's a baby, you're playing with them, you know, whatever that is, it will make a huge difference.
Exactly. It's
Just
totally,
kind of
you do
training.
not have to be void of anything for this to work and for you to practice. It's just, if you have the opportunity, I really suggest taking it. It's more of that second layer of benefit of that stillness that you practice, that you learn how to be with your thoughts. You know, if your thoughts are uncomfortable, they're like worries that are just kind of spewing out, you just listen. You don't get engaged with them. You just practice that. It's just, it is a beautiful practice and it's self-care. So we're big fans of making self-care really simple and attaching it to something that we do every day, like eating. And your cup will be filled from that for sure.
Absolutely. So that is the challenge this week and moving forward. We want you to start out when you have the opportunity to remove those distractions while you're eating and just sit in your space, feel those feelings and enjoy your food. You may find you enjoy your food more. You may
True.
find, I mean, even here, like the weather's warming up, I would go outside probably and just sit outside and enjoy outside while I ate.
Yep, exactly. Yeah,
So
it's great. And there's many benefits from it on all angles.
absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. Anything else you want to add?
That's it. Well, we just launched our Mindset 60. We talk more about this on Mindset 60 as we teach about the leptin hormone. So check us out at mindset60.com, our 60-day
Do
mindset.
www.mindset60.com. Some people have had a hard time getting there without putting the www in. So
Awesome. Good. We'd
come
love to see
see
you
us.
there.
All right. Bye, everyone.